Hello Internet, and welcome to episode 6 of Unorthoblocks, wherein I have boycotted diamond pants because they are cursed. I have a shulker monster in my inventory waiting to happen. And I have this distinct feeling that the moment I step outside my door, I will find that the world has profoundly changed in ways I was not prepared for. So, let's go find out what everybody else has done. Okay, that was a lot closer to my door than I was expecting. I feel like I should set up a post box so that, actually, maybe just having cryptic mail left for me is better than having explicable mail. But seriously, I have no idea what's going on here and I do not understand. What is your secrets block? Why are you here? Oh boy. Well, that's new. We have all sorts of new stuff around here. And some familiar shops that we've seen before. Okay, drive-in ducking. Well, we have a building that's currently under construction as we watch. Maybe we should leave so that we're not staring at the building while it's being made. On the other hand, we have a line of Unortho-people lined up outside here. So clearly we have to pay a visit. Like, we missed the grand opening, but we still have the Unortho plush shop. Why is there no ender chest in the shop? How am I supposed to spend all of my diamonds on gambling if I cannot get access to my diamonds in your shop, Jam? And having seen everything there was that has changed at spawn, we're just going to ignore all of it and head over to the stronghold and start getting to work. What happened to the pillar here? We just have some floating pillars now. Apparently somebody was obsidian hungry. That looks suspicious. That looks very suspicious. Well, this is the barrel I had left behind before, but what's this on top of it? Is that a very nice hat? Don't mind if I do. It looks so lovely on me. To whichever mysterious stranger left me this very nice hat, I thank you. I thank you most sincerely. Now, we also have this lovely arrow pointing towards where I'm planning on building. And the netherrack barrel I had left behind last time to get us started. So let's go construct my shulker monster, retrieve my netherrack appropriately, drop everything of value back into this barrel, including this lovely hat, so that I don't lose it into the void while bridging, and proceed to actually measure how much end void do I have to work with here. Well, let's just follow this island on down as far as this island will take me. And then we can start bridging from the low point of the island instead of the high point. Okay, and that's not quite the bottom of the island. But you know what? We've breached through to near the bottom, and I wanted about 30 blocks of clearance for the Undercity anyway. So we will start the netherrack bridge from Y35. Right. Well, I haven't actually crashed into the outer end ring, but at 1,000 blocks, we can definitely see it. I don't feel the need to actually complete the bridge out this far, because it's not about having a full bridge, it's about having a sense of the space and a scaffolding to build off of, and from anything that needs to be closer than that, I have the end island right there. But we have a small amount of space to work with. Now, I've been shortchanged by about 100 blocks, because we have a full 100 blocks-ish of main end island here. But I feel like if we assume that the north-south direction of my city blocks is about 100 blocks long, that gives us about 9 blocks across. Why am I using blocks to refer both to the block of the city that is area surrounded by roads, and Minecraft blocks. That's too many blocks. Let's put some back. Hey, End Void. How about you take some blocks from me? But anyway, 9 blocks across in the city. The outer 2 being the blue belt, so that's 7 blocks. The middle one being the city center, that's 6. That's an even number. This all works out. I love it when my math checks out. So let's go through and just mark out each of the 100 block increments for my city blocks. Okay, this is going to take forever to walk. Okay, so now that we have our lovely end void ruler, let's go through and cover up part of it with the actual road design. Specifically, we're going to take this square near the edge of the city that's not yet into what I'm planning on doing with the final squares. Because the edge squares I want to be like the green belt. So we'll work on doing some designs in this city square. Let's put my stuff back in storage. Frankly, I don't like having my Silk Touch pickaxe on me either, but what can you do? I need to have at least one of my pickaxes to mine. Okay, we're going back to my base in the overworld and grabbing my stone pickaxes so that when I fall into the void, nothing of value is lost. Well, having sketched out the actual cross width of what a 40 block wide main street is going to look like, that's big. That is quite a big wide road. So, working from this, let's go on out and start laying out the road. And I think it is going to curve upwards as we go across the road. Like, my initial build tests ended up flat, but on a road this big, flat is just going to be way, way too flat. Well, I can't adjust this if I have made a mistake, because I'm building over the end void. Terrible ideas department, we are here. Now, since I don't want to waste actual valuable building materials, we scaffold in netherrack. Actually, since I don't want to waste valuable building materials, and I don't want to have this be part of the schematic, so that it always has a hissy fit at me if there isn't netherrack here, we're going to mostly just bridge across the void, actually. There we go. Suitably random sampling of miscellaneous blocks. Come on, Enderman. Let me through. Let me through. There we go. Oh god, I'm going to have so many of you guys in the way this entire season. Let me through already. Okay, I feel like that shouldn't be there, but let's mix up the texture just a little bit through the city. What? It looks weird? What are you talking about? I think this looks perfectly normal, actually. So, I finished making some prototypical sections of the roads. However, I also got distracted and just casually finished building at the start of subway lines. Okay, I can't say it's finished, because we see here that is not finished. That is the exact opposite of finished. But what I have here is needing to figure out how to get the curve over the top of that subway line to look right, and also fit in here, and also fit in like some green or blue space. Now, for starters, we want to have at least a little bit. Okay, we're going to want to be putting a bridge over this section for pedestrian crossing. Thank you, Enderman, for getting helpfully out of my way. But yeah, the tunnel, or the primary rail tunnel lines will go underneath the road, And then we'll have a section above the road with both little bits of green space, blue space, whatever, which is just thick enough that we won't have any water spray anywhere else. And I think we can just continue to line the edge of this in copper grating. Of course, if I actually want to have parts of this be properly waterlogged, we're going to have issues. Little sections where it's dripping onto the subway lines, and that's not great. Because unfortunately, if I want to put coral on top of here, it'll be free floating. On the other hand, actually free floating coral sounds like a neat idea. Maybe I should go for that. Ooh, and we're starting to actually get the copper oxidizing so that we can properly get the copper gradients going on in here. And it's not just awkward purple to copper direct transition, because I don't have the wax to actually keep it in the right state of waxed copperness. So some of this is fully waxed copper, some of this is unwaxed copper that's going to start oxidizing. And you won't really know which is which until we get it to fully oxidized, and then once I actually have wax that I can buy off people, we'll wax it back to the correct stage. And this is relying a little bit on people knowing not to stand on the subway lines, because that's only a little bit of warning whenever on the platform here. But hey, what can you do about it? Let's mirror this. Because that seems like the good first order approximation here. And once I get a design for this layout we're happy with, we'll get another 1-2 skip a few that will involve laying out a lot more of the roads, and possibly also involve adding in a whole bunch more other things as I get distracted with the flow of building. Because, you know, that's a thing that happens. Sometimes you just have inspiration, and suddenly, poof, building. Okay, you know what? No, I want a boundary condition here. Sorry, Enderman. This is an active construction zone. You guys will be in danger from accidental water spillage until the construction is complete. Like, I do want to give you guys happy, comfortable green space, but it also needs to be happy, comfortable green space so you won't up and steal 5 minutes later. So I think that will do. That gives us a reasonable spot in the middle to make the bridge over here. Of course, let's also extend this on around and have an idea for how much space this feels like it should be taking up. You know what? I think we're gonna get a little bit weird here. And have the gradients be way too steep in the middle. Meanwhile, over here, no, we don't mirror that perfectly. Particularly because I haven't made my road all the way out wide enough. However... Okay, why does that have to sound like an Enderman is angry with me? Like, I get that that's just sort of background end music, but must the end music give me a heart attack like this? And now let's 1-2 skip a few until the next time I have interesting commentary on the green space. Though actually, first, let's just test how stupid does a coral fan look floating on above the landscape like that. And of course, however stressful flying from here to the main end island is, it is somehow twice as stressful trying to land over here. There we go. We have the little bounding box, around which we will continue laying out more of this lovely green space. Can I do this? Okay, I just full up cannot place it there. And that's not gonna work. And I don't have my Silk Touch pickaxe, so I can't fix it. I did not like that landing. And why must you do this to me? Well, that looks like the coral fans won't die from that positioning. It just is going to look stupid the entire time. Come on, Enderman. Stop being foolish. Yep, and that is visibly dripping underneath. So, we will resume once I have figured out what on earth this is going to look like. Wait. Does that actually stay put? Does that work? Can I just... Okay, but that ends up looking silly for a different reason. Okay, but I don't have to worry about it dripping down here, which means I can open up a little more of the area to look slightly better. Yeah. We're gonna have whatever little weirdness this fountain formation does, and we specifically want it to stay half slabs so that I can put water in there. And there we go. That looks fine. It looks awkward as heck underneath, but we're gonna fix that later. We're gonna have solid walls on our subway tunnel, and not have to worry about it looking awkward and wet. And then we can just have little flashes of bright coral. And I think we're gonna have some glowing lights in the middle here up top. But this is fine. I'm happy with this design. We have a little water area that I can actually put coral on without it looking stupid. Or at least, I think so. Let's come back when I've added water to this and see how stupid it looks then. So, why is there a warden noise in the background of my stronghold? What did you do, people? Well, we need to add some trees to our little planter boxes here, but I feel like this works as a beautiful garden element and little bridge across the rail line, since you don't actually need to jump at any point to get from one side of the street to the other. We have two nice thoroughfare lanes for the pedestrians to wander around in, and it's still fairly easy to get on across. So I think that does everything it needs to do, including looking pretty. And if you've noticed the ominous nether road, and if you've noticed the ominous bit of netherrack up in the sky there, that is next episode's problem, wherein we will actually lay out the floating lane designs, maybe get an apartment building design I'm happy with, actually put in the trees that are supposed to be in my planter boxes, because for some reason the trees I have back in my end island refuse to grow and therefore do not give me leaves. This is probably a function of light level, to be honest. So maybe I'll fix that and we'll actually have trees in our planter boxes. And one other thing for us to address, and of course, the very first thing we're going to be doing next episode is sorting out the curious case of where did all of my stuff go? Or rather, why did my stuff go? Why have we not improved the road to my stronghold yet? Well, we're gonna fix that next episode, where we do some big city building, and also just make life so much safer. I might not be living in the Nether anymore, but the Nether Health and Safety Commission would like to have a word with the Unorthoblocks server about our terrible road design. But unfortunately, as I have just been reminded, if I want to have safe roads through the Nether, we have to build them ourselves. And I most certainly want a safe road through the Nether so that I do not have all of my stuff end up in lava a second time. You know, I kind of thought, when I moved out to the end, that there would be less of this silly lava business.